that's my plan. So, first thing I want to say is it was very interesting. Now, I want to tell you astrology isn't necessarily where my information, that's not my strongest suit. You have to like know a lot and really understand a lot of the interactions and really, it's not, but I definitely can read, and so can you, but I definitely, I did think it was worthwhile to be looking at it. So Saturn is about a slow life and hard transits, or at least it looks like it's about slowing down, or at least that's how we perceive it. So it's interesting, it comes during COVID-19. Saturn, Saturn is in Aquarius. So it looks as if life is slowed down, but it's actually kind of sped up at the same time. So it looks like it's slowed down, or at least is how we perceived it. We're all at home. And it gives you the opportunity to gain inner strength, to become more responsible for what we do and say. This is pretty important right now. And to cut out waste or excessiveness in our lives. Saturn pairs or slims down, gets rid of things not working for us in the real world. So Saturn, kind of what Saturn in Aquarius is doing, is kind of as a nation focusing on us and asking us to begin to look at what's not working for you. This is in the United States, right? We're looking for what's not working, what can be focus on improving and strengthening things that do serve a useful purpose. So right now that could be the Black Lives Matter movement. Saturn also happens to be a very religious, spiritual, and is about cultural reform. Cultural reform is very likely to occur. I mean, that's a really interesting part that we're in right now. Saturn, during any Saturn transit, Saturn depicts changes, challenges. It will act as a betterment to bring government matters on a right path. I mean, seriously. Astrology is amazing. It really is amazing. This change will be driven by a force to make the world a more organized and structural place to be. So it's a very interesting sort of breakdown of Saturn being in Aquarius right now, a useful purpose, a sort of like a religious or spiritual and a cultural shift to occur. Now, Pluto is much more of a tricky planet, likes to be the trickster, kind of like the ghost planet. Now, I dig, like, Pluto used to be a planet, they kicked him out, said, no, you're not a planet anymore. Maybe that's not the truth, but Pluto rules the unconsciousness. Pluto rules things that are not seen. Pluto works by making things more extreme that are not seen. So really works on working on the unconsciousness and really like amplifying that. So it what has been amplified, or what has been, ignored, avoided, or not looked at. That's what Pluto is. Pluto begins to Pluto deals with the unconsciousness. And when we're looking at that as a nation, the unconsciousness of how people have been working, or how people have been being treated as a people, that has been very unconscious. Or whether there's been white privilege, where that has happened, it's been unconscious. It's coming roaring to the foreground. All of it is coming roaring to the foreground. Pluto is sort of demanding that anything that is in the unconscious begins to be dealt with, and in a way that it's sort of forced to be looking at. So it is a ruler of the unconscious. Now, the more things that are unconscious, the harder this transition can possibly be. So I'm offering this to you so you begin to try and take a look at where you are in an unconscious world in yourself. Now, Neptune, one of the things I want to talk about with Neptune is Neptune in Pisces is going to be here with us until around, I don't know if it's going to be in Pisces, actually, but Neptune is going to be here through 2025. Now, one of the things that I found out about Neptune itself it's super important. Neptune is spiritual transformation. I want you as you're on this channel, whether it be in YouTube, whether it be in Facebook, whether it be anywhere, Neptune is spiritual transformation. And Neptune is in Pisces right now. Neptune is going to be with us through 2025. And it is spiritual transformation. Do you want to know some of the stuff that's happened when Neptune's been around? You ready? Origin of Species. Darwin wrote The Origin of Species, which took the whole Bible, Adam and Eve being, this thought that it's only these two humans, and put evolution on the map. Like, that's a huge jump in spiritual thought, huge jump in, this is more of right, absolutely. I mean, I just saw that wow face. Like, that's amazing. Spiritual, it was also, Neptune was in Pisces during the California gold rush. So that's the kind of chaos that Neptune kind of brings to the table. So it's definitely something that we need to speak about when we're looking at Neptune being in spiritual transformational time. So we have now 2020, the next 5 years, where we're going to be looking at what the song of Neptune is in spiritual thought, which is really just set the stage for me to take over the world. Just so you know, we're going to be bringing it into, and I just want to say this. I know I say that joke. I don't say that jokingly. I'm hard at work on that. Melanie can lay proof to that. But I also want to say that Neptune is also the sky planet of ghosts of trickery. So The Origin of Species was written by Charles Darwin, The Rebellion of Thought. So it came from, it debunked Adam and Eve and put in the evolution, began new ideas of thought, represents nature in its raw form before human intervention. So remember, we're also in this kind of world of, we're also in this COVID-19 world. So you have this virus that's been sort of like out in the world. So as a spiritual medium and as a science person, viruses shift in the world. They get more RNA, they change up, they mutate, and they do it on their own. They become 10 million different varieties of it, which is, we have the common cold, the flu that we can see in that. So when we're talking about this before human intervention, so imagine that we're having this like Neptunian kind of COVID-19 coronavirus come up. And then we have this is before human intervention, which actually should give a lot of, when I'm sitting here and I'm holding this kind of thought and this here, one of the things that I'm hearing from Spirit is this is a good thing, because that's before human intervention. So what happens next is after human intervention, we have ways to deal with it. We have ways not to die from corona. We have not only do we have obvious ways that we have our hand washing, and we're not in we have clean running water. We have all of these wonderful things that we have that we didn't have in the early hundreds of years ago, but we definitely have now. So Neptune is about prior to human intervention. So we are in the process of human intervention when it comes to the coronavirus and COVID-19, which means we are going to intervene with it. So this is really good. So we're at our force of nature and spiritual. It's interesting because it's also in spiritual transformation. So in order to deal with corona, there may need to be a spiritual transformation in the people that are science people to deal with a new way that that they have to deal with corona. It's just a kind of a thought. So so I hope that in understanding I hope that in breaking down some of those astrological aspects, that you're able to see this is a really interesting, heavy astrological time. Obviously you see that. Not only do we have that, but we also have earthquakes in Yellowstone, and we also have a landmark brewing uh, um, tropical storm in the Gulf. I think it's hitting Mexico in the next 12 to 24 hours. So we have huge amounts of things happening in the world right now. What I would suggest to you, and kind of when I woke up this morning, I had this thought, and I mean, sometimes I don't know if these thoughts, are Janny thoughts, or if they're thoughts of uh, of spirit. But it's not a bad idea to have a a Berkey. It's not a bad idea to have something that filters your water. It's not a bad idea to have things that you could cook around a campfire. These are not bad things to have. These are actually maybe good things to have around. You never know if you may need them. So I'm not predicting the end of the world. I don't see that happening at all. I do know that there are some people out there that are saying that it's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. I know that they're like, well, I joke about it, right? Because I think I posted something on my own personal Facebook that said, wondering what chapter in Revelation we're in right today, but it's not, this world isn't going to end, not in this way. I mean, but there will be, this will be a time, let me say it this way, this is a time that you signed up to come here. This is a time that you signed up to care for the souls that are around you. This is the time that you came to express how you love this earth and the people that are around you. I suggest that you find ways to do it, to show it, to be it, whether it's to stand up and be an ally, whether it's stand up to make sure that you knock on doors to vote, make sure that you use any kind of privilege that you had. CNN has dead air. I wonder why that is. It's definitely encouraged that we do have branches of we do have 3 branches of checks and balances in our government for a reason. And definitely a world right now we're in is about transformation and inclusivity. So I really want you to hear me on that. Transformation and inclusivity on all branches. So please make sure that you, if you didn't get the chance to watch this, I break down the what I had posted earlier between Neptune, Uranus, and I guess I didn't talk about Uranus. I just did. I see you, J-Rock. I don't know if you're on right now, but I did see your text. Okay, that's not an issue, not a problem. So I did talk about Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune. Definitely about huge things. And I got to tell you, I'm going to tell you, which am I going to tell you? It's funny because I would like to, do I tell that story? Do I tell the one story? Do I tell the other story? I mean, I guess they're gone, so I can tell that story. I tried to, I think that this, it was really wonderful to, and very heartfelt to see everybody that's out doing peaceful marches for Black Lives Matter. It is incredibly convoluted when there are different factions and white supremacists and people who are starting, and even some of it, and some of the live feeds that I've watched, even some of it looking like police officers are starting this horrible violence that's hi Sarah, that is starting out there. That is awful to see. I do want to say that I am beyond touched that areas like Spain, England, Italy, New Zealand, Australia, like they're marching for Black Lives Matter, and that they care so much about the people of the United States to know that we're not supported and we are not alone, and that we are being seen and heard across the world. So it is very comforting in my heart, I hope it's comforting in yours. And I can only say that it's not just transformation when it comes to the United States, as far as Saturn, Pluto, and Neptune. Those forces work across all countries, which is why we're having all countries beginning to protest and really stand up for human rights, as what are the rights of humans and being in this world. So that is a huge, 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 huge thing to notice and to really take in. So I strongly urge any science people who are out there that you begin to ask kind of Neptunian, the Neptunian kind of thoughts to help you get creative about how to solve any sort of COVID issues, because that worldwide force and energies, that universal, I shouldn't say worldwide, it's universal, that force wants to help you. So hi Edmund, it's nice to see you here. What else do I want to talk about tonight? I think I just want to talk about that. And I just want to say this, and I want to say that I do want to say this, because even though it looks as if things are kind of coming undone, I want to offer that maybe they're coming together in a way that they need to come together to support everybody involved. Now, regardless of what your political bent is, although I do have some ideas on that, I have very strong ideas on that. But when it comes to spirits, I want to say spirit doesn't care, but spirit does care how you treat other people in this world. Spirit does care. And I mean, when I say that, when you cross the other side, you get to be the judge of yourself. That's important to understand. You get to judge yourself on how you treated other people. So it's always worthwhile to kind of remember that and give yourself that refresher. Because even if somebody isn't on your political bent, whether you be a left or you be a right, how you treat somebody else is important. So if you're a left and how you treat the right, it matters. If you're a right and how you treat the left, it matters. That is what is happening right now. That is what everybody is upset about right now. That, I mean, not just that, 1.5 million other things too, but I just want to say that I so appreciate everybody tuning in right now. And I hope that with all of these ideas along on how transformative these planets are and what they're kind of the forces that are coming here, the veil is thinning, and and sometimes when the veil thins, it just, everything that is not truth falls apart. So I want you to know, Spirit is loving you no matter what. You are supported in every endeavor that you do. See light, be light. And if you have any, I do want to make sure that I say that I will be doing a large group reading. Here's my book right here. I'll be doing a large group reading on Saturday, the 13th from 6 to 8. I also think I will be doing on June 9th. I'm pretty sure I am going to be interviewing Ned, and he started the NDE page, near death experience page. And so I'm going to be interviewing him on how he does it, how he started it, why he started it. I think that he just has had a lot of he's a highly sensitive individual. He's a highly sensitive person. And he is also so much, he's also working in, he's a baby medium, I call him. I call people who are coming out as sort of mediums, they're baby mediums, which means he's getting his feet wet. And so I know that he's going to be offering readings at some sort of rate. I don't know what it is, but I think that he'll have some really interesting insights with people. So definitely, if you get a chance to do that. And if you are following me on TikTok, I'm not posting today because today is the blackout, so I won't be doing that, but I will be back on tomorrow. And I just have made a promise to everybody that that follow me here that I would definitely post on a daily while I'm home for Corona. So see light, be light, take care of yourselves, and until tomorrow, I will see you later. Take care. Ciao. Bye.